Hi everyone, it's Lucy, and today I'm very excited because we're going to be talking about a brand that I have been curious about. I've been getting ads for on my Instagram and my Facebook, and I also know a lot of you have been hearing about this brand, and it is Ledin or Ledin. I'm not entirely sure. I received a couple of messages and comments from you asking me to review this new Kawaii affordable clothing brand, and then I actually ended up having the company themselves email me asking to review them, and I did so on the grounds that I would just get the pieces of clothing to talk about and I could just honestly review them as I do as per normal. So that was great because I was able to get quite a selection of different items, some of the more popular ones, plus some of the ones I was particularly interested that I felt best suited my style. So I appreciate the company sending their clothes so I can do a comprehensive review. Obviously that means I didn't pay for these things, but I'm also not being compensated to make this video. No one's paying me to say anything. There are also a couple of pieces from Peacebird, which I'd also heard about, and they are their sister company, so they're both under the same umbrella brand. I just want to briefly chat about the brand before we get into anything, because when I first started seeing the ads for Ledin, it was very much kind of targeting me because it was like, oh, Ledin is kawaii fashion, it's Japanese clothing, but both of these companies are owned by a Chinese parent company, so it is not actually a Japanese brand. It may be inspired by Japanese street style or, you know, more kawaii style, that's totally fine, but it is a Chinese brand, they both are. It's really interesting because I'm quite interested in some Chinese fashion brands. For those of you who don't know, I actually studied Mandarin for a really long time, and I also lived in Hong Kong when I was a kid, and I have been to China and I hope to travel there again eventually. But because a lot of the social media usage for China is on different apps, I feel like we don't really get to know as many of the trendy kind of boutiques that we do for kind of, you know, Instagram. But there are equivalent sort of Instagram boutique brands on apps like, forgive my pronunciation, Xiaohongshu. I just think that world in terms of fashion influence and stuff isn't really that explored. I'm just speaking more broadly, but I do think sometimes I see people write things off really quickly when they are made or manufactured in China, and I just don't think that's necessarily giving things a proper and fair go. I understand why that's come about, but I do think there are equivalent manufacturing processes and labor situations in places like the United States. I just wanted to put that out there because I think there's definitely like a little bit of a misconception, especially in the fashion community, and I just think we need to maybe like think about that a little bit more. The first thing I noticed was that this was quite different than the usual kawaii Instagram kind of shop that I was used to. Whereas a lot of these websites were kind of curating items from Taobao or AliExpress. It was very clear to me already that Ledin was its own brand, and they've done big collaborations with Disney, quite a few notable collaborations with other kind of quite notable properties. I was like, no, this is like a brand. It's a whole brand. It's a brand. It's not a like a storefront that just sells things from wholesalers, which is fine. But those are also valid. To me, these designs stood out as being unique, and they are like the brand's designs. Do you know what I mean? The sizing is probably what you'd expect. It's mostly straight sizing. However, I assumed I would be like a large to extra large in clothing because I am obviously a white woman, and this is, you know, not necessarily clothing that is designed for a white woman's physique, but I think I was about a medium in everything, and I think it goes like from extra small to large or extra large. So not amazing sizing, but I kind of figured I would be on the upper range of it, but I'm sort of in the middle, kind of like where I am in normal sizing for me in Australia. So let's just jump straight into it, and I'm going to start with the first item, and it is one that I'm wearing right now. It is this high-waisted denim mini skirt. I have it in the blue color. They also have a gray one, I think, and this is in the size L. This seems to be the largest size, so even though I just said that about the sizing, never mind. Now, I didn't pay for these items, so I know they have individual item prices. However, I was having a look at people talking about this brand on Reddit, and a lot of people who purchase from them said that they often run discount coupons and things like that. You can get it up to, I think someone was saying 50% less than what it is. So just keep that in mind. So this skirt is individually listed at around 45 Australian dollars, which I don't think is super irregular. I think that's pretty standard pricing to what I would see if I went to a store in the city where I live. I would be able to find a skirt for around this much. I would say this is probably on the more affordable side, but that's just me. The two front pockets are real front pockets. The belt is adjustable on the waist, and there is a little zipper in the back. I do remember I was on the cusp of trying to figure out if I was a medium or a large for this, but just because I could see that it was already quite a short skirt, I opted for the longer one because I have a booty to accommodate for when it comes to length, and I couldn't tell exactly how flared it was. So I decided to err on the more cautious side, and I think that was the right decision because this is quite short. On the front, not so much, but on the back, I would say it's probably the shortest I would go for this type of skirt. It's just a little precarious, I would say. But other than that, the style of it, I quite enjoy. It's very 90s Y2K, which I'm sure a lot of you know I'm quite into. I really like that sort of cute, flirty kind of vibe. It's very much my vibe for my style. I do have a little bit of room on the waist, which I've been able to kind of get to lie flush with the belt, but I don't think it's a heap of room considering I got the large size. And if you were any bigger than, I would say, an Australian size 10 or a US size 6, I'm not sure how this would maybe feel, be comfortable, how it would sit, but it depends on your hip size as well. My hips are quite significantly a larger proportion, same with the butt, so I have to accommodate for that. So it really depends. I like the shape, I like the design. It does overall feel kind of like a nice quality. I'm going to say this now because I've obviously unpacked everything and felt it. The quality is of a standard quite a bit higher than the sort of medium to low expectations I was setting for most of the pieces, most of them. The only thing is, again, because of my proportions, the pleats at the back aren't sitting quite right, just because I think my butt is sort of pushing them up at the top a bit more than they're meant to be. So as much as I like this design and I do think it looks cute, it may be something that I pass on because it will just maybe fit someone with a different body type better, which again isn't something crazily out of my expectations because I don't think I am the typical body shape that this brand will be designing for. But there are other pieces that I'm going to show you that I think are more flattering to a wider variety of body types, if that makes sense. So that is this denim skirt. Now, while I'm still in this kind of outfit, I wanted to pop on this jacket, and this is the flower print denim jacket, which I realize when you look at it, it doesn't look like a flower print, but it's actually on the inside of the jacket, which I think is a very, very cute design touch. Now, it's been a hot second since I ordered these things. I think I ordered them maybe a month or two ago, so it's been a while. So this jacket is listed on the website as 128 Australian dollars, but because I've got the items up on the website to kind of refer to them, the likelihood of you paying the full price for an item is maybe not that high. $128 is not inexpensive for a jacket. It's definitely, you know, a little bit more on the mid-price range for a denim jacket, but obviously if you take 38% off of that, it probably sits more in the price range of what you would expect to see for a decent denim jacket, and that's what this is. I think this is actually a really, really nice jacket. Like, this is probably one of the items I'm most excited about because I just think it is so cute. Another spoiler for the rest of the video, but all of these items, they're just these really cute design touches that, you know, you just see from a brand that thinks through its collections and thinks through its clothing. It just feels a little bit more special than kind of just like, oh, it's a denim jacket. It's a denim jacket. There you go. Here's a denim jacket, which I will just take a denim jacket. I like denim jackets. But, you know, the little flower print on the inside, or white contrast stitching, or the sort of oversized cuffs, or the matte white buttons, it just feels a little bit more thoughtful than kind of your average design. It feels solidly constructed. It's actually genuinely really nice. I love how big the sleeves are, and I just don't see a lot of stuff like this, like the raw hem detail. I don't know, I think it just feels designed. So with that, I'm going to quickly jump into a sort of quick lightning round about the Peacebird pieces that I received. Focus is on Ledin, but I have them, so I feel like I should just show you and just give you my quick thoughts. So first up, we have this kind of cropped jumper. I'm not obsessed with it. I think it's fine. Again, this is over 100 Australian dollars, but again, random discount kind of thing, so it's sort of hard for me to say exactly how much you would pay for this. The reason why I was interested in this is because number one, I thought it was going to be more white than ivory / cream, but guess who's boo-boo the fool again? Every single time, I'm always just like, oh, it says white. I mean, it looks a little bit, maybe like it could be cream, but it says white, and then it comes, I'm like, okay, well that's ivory. That's more of a yellowy white, which doesn't look as nice on me as kind of a cleaner, more cool toned white, but I guess. I just thought the texture of kind of the raised pieces of flowers was sort of cool. Just a little bit more interesting than kind of, I guess, a more normal version of this jumper. But what I also was interested in was the kind of material mix, which was an acrylic polyamide, wool, and spandex mix, which I kind of was like, okay, there's like a bit of wool in it. Like that's a bit interesting, because I feel like typically for the, you know, Kawaii online stores, or if you're into Korean fashion, a lot of the time it's just a acrylic or polyester blend. So it's cool to see like a bit of wool blended in there. I mean, you know, it's over $100, so you would kind of expect it to be that. But I do think it's a cute piece. It's just like not something I'm obsessed with. I'm not besotted with it, but I don't really have any major complaints. There's nothing quality-wise that's wrong with it. It's more just design features that I personally don't like. So that's this jumper. Okay, this one is a little different than what I normally get, but I do have a reason for why I picked this. And the way we started on the model with a preppy kind of plaid mini skirt and a little white top, I just thought that style was really cute, and I could definitely see myself wearing a more feminine kind of preppy version of it. This is also over $100, which I think is quite a bit. But I think also when we decide about how much something is worth with a brand, we kind of attach the brand's inherent value to it as well. Because with Ledin or Peacebird, I don't think a lot of us know anything about that brand, but when I was looking on their website, they said they have a lot of stores, like in-person stores in China. Like I don't live there, so I don't see it all the time. So I'm not familiar with the brand. So I don't have an attached inherent value of this brand, if that makes sense. The buttons are also these cute little gunmetal roses. Bit of an extra detail that I don't think you would normally expect on something like this, which I feel like kind of helps to justify the price more, or at least breaks down the price in my mind more. See, I would probably style it more something like this with, you know, a little black or, you know, printed mini skirt and some type of turtleneck or something like that. So I don't think the rose buttons are like as much of a feature, but they're a nice touch, you know, if that's what you're into. I don't hate it. I'm not obsessed with it. It wouldn't push me over the line, but I know for a lot of people it would be like the piece de resistance. I hope I'm making some type of sense with how I'm sort of explaining these items, because it's just quite different to what I've come across before. Typically I kind of get it and I'm like, you know, is it worth the money or not? Whereas this, I'm kind of like, they're very subjective pieces because they're very specifically designed. The quality so far on all of these items has been like really solid. I'm not really complaining about any of that. Although speaking on that, this one doesn't have like a wool blend. This one just says other materials on the website. So mystery. So this is just an oversized t-shirt. It's a cute one though. I got it because it reminded me of Danganronpa, which is one of my favorite anime series. And I know it's a game as well. I have it on Steam. I just haven't played it yet. It says Bjork on it. And I don't think it's a collab with the singer Bjork. And this one just says no drought, which I agree, I guess. I don't know. This is all embroidered here, and it's sort of like a sparkly embroidered thread, but actually there's a little layer of lining, which I don't think is cotton. It's something else, sort of like a lycra-y, swimsuity kind of material, something with a little bit of stretch to it. That just goes on the front side between the embroidery and you, so that you're not getting scratched by kind of the embroidery, or it's protecting the embroidery, which again, I'm like, oh, that's a cute detail. I kind of wouldn't have minded if it didn't do that. I just kind of wanted a cottony, breezy kind of vibe. But again, I'm like, oh, that's like thoughtful. Someone thought about protecting the embroidery, which is like an extra step than I think literally every day. Someone's got a big brain, you know? This is also meant to be like 70 Australian dollars, which again, I'm kind of like, oh, that's like not an insignificant amount of money, but considering what it is, I'm like, yeah, I could see that. Brand part is just missing for me a little bit. I just can't really like grasp who this brand is. Supreme t-shirts shouldn't cost what they cost. You know why it costs that, or at least you can see like, oh yeah, it costs that because of XYZ, or it's like limited edition, or it's hard to get, and so there's like a resale value. It doesn't mean that the inherent value is that, but you understand why you pay that. I'm trying to do math. Yeah. T-shirt. Okay, this dress from Peacebird is so good. It's so good. I got this in a medium, and the price is around $90 at the moment. It is 100% cotton. To me, just in my opinion, I feel like this suits me really, really nicely. The shape of this is so pretty. There's room in the sleeves, like they're kind of just like floating over my arms, but the puff still has structure to it. It's still a substantial puff. The waist kind of, it starts up here, and normally I'd be like, oh, that's not really a flattering silhouette on me, but it kind of is sculpted all the way down the entire small of my waist and then flares out, so that it just kind of gives this really nice shape. It's just doing all the things that I kind of wanted to do, and I was really, really surprised when I put this on because I wasn't expecting to give, but it gave. Getting all those things and having it in cotton, and I mean, cotton's not the be all and end all, but just like, you know, a lot of the times you get all the things you want and then it's a sweaty little dress, sweaty little polyester baby, and polyester can look nice. I'm not saying it doesn't. I own polyester, I wear polyester, but just sometimes you're like, it's like kind of a sweaty one. I probably wouldn't want to wear it in certain situations because it would be just a sweaty time. But it's cotton, baby. It's cotton. And then the little like embroidered detail on the fabric, it's embroidered, it's not printed. It's just thoughtful. Everything that this brand does so far, I'm just like, oh, you like thought about that. Even though they're a little bit higher than kind of that more affordable range of clothing that we're sort of used to, I'm like, well, but it did that and that. And you know, if that's something that matters to you, you're kind of like, oh yeah, I would pay an extra $20 for it to be cotton. I would pay an extra $20 for it not to, you know, sit really tightly on my arms. Like that's good. Kind of good. So even like another detail that I thought was really cute is that the buttons are all evenly spaced all the way down, but at the waist, right, you want that, or the design of the dress is that that's sort of the smallest part of the dress and it's going to be the most fitted. But actually between these two buttons here, there's a little snap so that you can ensure that that part also stays really flush on kind of like your waist and really nice and secure. And I was just like, that's a cute idea. Like you don't have to use it, you don't have to do it up, but it just means that you've got that extra like sort of, you know, I feel like I look really cute in it. I'm really having a good time. They do this in a white and kind of aqua blue color as well. And you know, I'll wear this and test it out and see how I do like this actually, you know, practically wearing out in life. But if I really like this and this is like, you know, just a gorgeous cut, I would be quite tempted to get it in the white and blue colorway as well, because it's a cottony dress. So that would be really cute for the hotter months, which I'm finally leaving. Thank Lord. This to me is just 5 stars. This is by far, so far, my favorite thing and the best thing. I just think this is like amazing. Hi, just as I'm getting changed, I just want to quickly mention that this actually does have some type of synthetic lining. I didn't really notice it when I was putting it on because it's all black, but yeah, there is like a synthetic lining on this dress. So the outer is 100% cotton, but there is a synthetic lining. So yeah, just wanted to mention that because that kind of does change things a little bit. Still gorgeous dress, but yeah, there is a little synthetic-y lining boy in there. So this is a 2-piece set with a very cute kind of little heart pattern on it. It's giving me very Minnie Mouse, and I'm not sure if I'm totally obsessed with it, and I think it has something to do with the proportions. So on the model, she's got like a gap kind of here between the top and the waist, and I think well, first of all, she's a model, but second of all, I think she just has a slightly longer torso or different, well, she obviously has different proportions, she's a model, but she's got a longer torso maybe than I do, because if I wear it kind of on the small of my waist where I think I'm meant to wear it, if I just wear the top, there's no space here, except if I like kind of, woo, party rock. But then this top is not like tight around my body, and it's not heinous, but it could be better. You know, I can look pretty good. I mean, just the dress I just wore, just slightly better. I think as a 2-piece set, it works cute together. I don't know if I would wear the skirt alone because it's got like this sort of elastic waistband all the way around, which depending on the design of the item, I sometimes am not obsessed with. And this is maybe one of those cases where I just, because it's got a pattern, it's like very apparent that there's kind of ruching, but I'm also not obsessed with the fit. I think I would prefer for it to be more fitted. There is a zip on the back of the top so that it can be fitted like this, but again, is not as fitted as it could be. So I'm not sure on that. I'm just not as impressed with this as I am with some of the other items I've tried. This one is just maybe not so much for me, which is sad because I thought this set was really, really cute. And I was hoping that this top would be like really nicely fitted or even just like a little more cropped, maybe. I don't know. I think this might just be the case of just like it's not quite right on my body type. That doesn't mean that I don't think the design is cute, but I think it might suit someone else a little bit better. So I was ready to stop talking and then I remembered that I did not mention the price of either of these items, but the skirt is something like over 70 Australian dollars, and I feel like that is just maybe a little much. I just don't think it's that special. Also, I didn't mention, but the hearts are kind of, they're not printed on the fabric, like sort of are. They're kind of like a rubbery, shiny kind of plastic texture. The top, however, is apparently on sale right now, and I feel like that sale price is really good for this, if you like it. Compared to other basics where I can kind of more accurately compare them between, you know, what's this turtleneck like versus this turtleneck, or what's this pair of jeans versus this pair of jeans. I'm kind of like, well, they're very specific items. So the price is really way more subjective in this case, in my opinion anyway. It's just not right, is it? It's not quite right for me. This kind of, to me, is a combination of like a Love Live costume gone wrong, or I look like I'm a baby about to go for my christening. So this dress is from Ledin compared to the other kind of collar dress from Peacebird. Now this is one of their top sellers, and they had reviews on this. There were quite a few reviews that people were saying it was amazing and the perfect dress for them. And maybe it was the perfect dress for them, but it is not the perfect dress for me. The tightest part is up here, so it's very much like a baby doll kind of. I just look blobby. I just look like a blob. I just feel like I look really awkward in it, and it could just be me and it could just be my preferences, but I don't like this one. The quality is okay. It's sort of that really like crinkly kind of noisy fabric, and there's a little slip underneath. I don't like this fabric very much. I'm trying to think of things to say, but I keep just seeing this sort of cumulus cloud shape in the viewfinder. So this one is currently on sale for $77. So I don't think that's bad. And look, I think I'm being a little harsh on it because I just don't really like the shape on me. But I think if you are someone who likes this more kind of baby doll shape and that suits you, then I think it would look really, really cute on you. But I am not that person. Like most clothes, but specifically for the type of clothes I've shown you today, if this is your thing and you like it, I think you'll be happy with the quality and how it's going to be for you. I don't love this on me, so I don't like it. I should just mention there are no zippers or buttons or anything on this dress. You just have to pull it on over your head. So if you like to wear makeup and you want to wear this dress, just keep that in mind because it was a struggle. So this dress I was really, really excited for when I put my order in. I put my order in and I think they were saying that there wasn't any left in my size, and they asked me to pick something else, and I was just kind of like, I can wait, you know, is it gonna come back? And they're like, yeah, it'll come back. And I was like, okay, I'll wait. So this one I was just really keen for because it's a very casual sort of design, very like easy to put on. You can wear it with sneakers, you can wear it with like kind of some more dressy shoes, you could dress it up for winter, you could wear tights with it and a pair of boots and put a jacket on. And it's in one of my favorite color combos, which is baby pink and kind of like a soft black. Like I'm just really, really vibing it. And here again with the design, with the waistline, it does sort of go up there, and I would prefer it to be just like an inch further down there, but it is sort of like drapes over that area, so I feel like it still looks kind of cute. And again, it's like a casual kind of easy breezy look, so it doesn't need to be like, you know, like it can just be casual, like what it is. This is another one of the ones where they have like just some really interesting design details where I'm like, I wouldn't have thought of that, and that is cool. Some people might hate it, but it's a thing that they did. Across the waist and the shoulders, there's these little pull cords with like little plasticky utility, you know, like little tighteners. So that means you can kind of ruche and unruche the dress. So like, and you can do it with the waist as well. So you can pull it so the waist is like all the way ruched and back, and they're on both sides. So they're on the back and the front. I've just put it in a little bit just so that it fits close to my body, but not so tight that it kind of like pulls at the fabric. This is just a polyester blend, but I would say it's probably one of those like nicer, more lightweight polyesters. You know, it's a polyester, but it's not a bad one. This dress before any discounts is going for around 60 Australian dollars, which I think is really fair. I think it's a well-constructed dress. Again, there's lining, you've got these cool details. I really like the print, and the little buttons here are actually in the shape of flowers. Again, they didn't need to do that. They could have just let them be normal little black buttons, but they made little floral buttons. It's just these cute little touches that to me make the pieces feel that much more special and individual. I don't love it as much as that black dress with the white collar. That one still is my favorite so far, but I do think this is a really cool casual look. And again, I feel like this one, lots of styling opportunities. Okay, and here is the last item of this video. This is like a little plaid? What was I going to say? Plaid? A plaid dress. This is I live for the applaud. This is a plaid dress with just a sweetheart neckline, little A-line moment. This I have actually already worn out and about, and I found it was very comfy, very easy. I wore it with a pair of sneakers and it was just very like chill, kind of giving you a bit of a dressed up sort of date kind of vibe. I would say daytime date vibe, but it's not, you know, like, walking around like, oh God, when will it end? It was just kind of a, yeah, like an easy breezy kind of dress to pop on. It is also polyester, but it doesn't feel like it. I thought this was cotton from the way it feels, but it's not. So it's a nice feeling material to me. This one is a bit more of a simple, or I guess maybe more widely appealing design, whereas some of them, you know, like we had the rose buttons, we had the big collar, we had the little utility strings. This is just like a cute purple dress. I really like the length. I think that's part of what makes it feel really comfy and chill, is because it's just nice and just above knee length, so you're not kind of like holding it down. Although I did wear this on a really windy day and I was walking across a bridge in Brisbane, and that is windy, but that's windy for like anything. I still maintain that black dress with the white collar is my absolute favorite of this video, but this is also kind of in the like top section. This is one of the better items. Overall, my review for Ledin / Peacebird would be, I think the quality is a lot better than I was initially expecting, in saying that I didn't really know anything about the brand, but the quality for the most part on everything was really decent, really good. I just think sometimes with Kawaii fashion, there are a lot of those brands out there that have very, I would say, poorly manufactured items that are kind of, you know, masquerading as something a little bit better than what they are, and those I find tend to be really overpriced. Again, they're often being resold from things like AliExpress and Taobao, so that kind of price inflation happens there, but that is definitely not the case here. Like, the price you're paying for these items, I think, is very much what you're getting. Whether or not you think it is worth it is entirely up to how much you like that particular style of item. Very subjective will be my review, because I would say overall, with any of the items that I wasn't particularly a fan of, it's nothing to do with the quality of the item itself, it's just how it fits on me, my personal preferences for things like color, fit, you know, fabric, all that kind of stuff. That's where that comes in, rather than, oh, this is something completely different than what I thought I was paying for, or, you know, this is really cheaply made. It's not the case here. I think the quality is really, really lovely. Some more than others, you know, but just keep that in mind. But if you like these pieces and you see something and you're like, oh my gosh, that is the piece I've been looking for, then I don't think you would be disappointed with the quality. You wouldn't feel like, you know, you're getting an expectation versus reality situation. I don't think that's the case here. So yeah, I'm keen to kind of keep my eyes on Ledin and Peacebird. They're very interesting brands, and I'm kind of keen to see how they continue to expand into the, you know, kind of wider global market, because I feel like I just haven't seen too much buzz around them before. But I know I'm getting, you know, the marketing ads, and I assume some of you are getting it too. So hopefully this has been a decent review and has given you a bit of a understanding of what the quality is like. Let me know down below if any of you have tried anything from Ledin and Peacebird and what your experience was. Hopefully we can kind of make this a bit of a resource for people who are looking to purchase from the website. If you want to see more test runs of new or more popular clothing brands, or if you have a brand that you just want me to review, let me know down below in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in